Not that I was looking. I just like his legs was just like all hair. His feet. I mean, I'm sure he had a big foot, but it just never really stuck out.
And Mike, did
Maybe
you?
I did see it and just forgot it, and it hasn't come back to me yet.
Yeah, that's in some encounters. People only, well, they don't see as much as you see or hear as much as you do, but they'll only see an arm, a head, the shoulder, and the arm, and that's all they see. They don't really see the rest of the body. Sounds like you really got to see movement and how he crouched down with his knees up towards his chin, and you got to see a lot of details in that first hair-raising encounter. A lot don't get to see, and
Oh, exactly. And another thing I want to point out is these things have been around me my whole life. I just wasn't educated. I've always heard whoops. I've always heard tree breaks. I've always heard tree knocks, and the tree knocks. I always thought it was some idiot in the woods banging on a tree, or the whoops was some kind of nocturnal bird, or they've always been around. I've always heard them. I just never knew what it was. I always pawned it off on something else.
I wonder if they were preparing you for the big reveal finally that you had. I've heard that before, is that they prepare
It's the hell
somebody,
of a spot, that's for sure.
yeah, and then they reveal themselves or they expose themselves later. But he definitely wanted you to know he was king of the hill and king of that area.
Oh, for sure. And these things definitely know what guns are because not just him turning his head every time I would bear down on him. It was just every time I would look at my scope, he had that body language about him. Like, oh, he's got this hairless monkey. He's got one of them bad boom boom sticks that everybody's talking about. But when I say everybody's talking about, Sasquatch have language. I'm sure they pass the message around just like we do.
Well, I've heard some females can braid a strand of hair in back. I think Patty from the Patterson Gimlin film, somebody that did an analysis of that, a closer analysis more recently, said it looked like that she had braided some strands.
I got a buddy. I think he's in Oklahoma. He has a female that comes around, and Don said it. He said this female is so human looking. He said it's very feminine looking, very slender, like a real woman. I mean, it's full of hair, but it's very human looking.
Did you detect any odor at any time?
No odor. And I don't recall the woods getting. I'm sure it was quiet once he was there, but like nothing was. When he was coming in, nothing was different. They were still like it didn't get dead quiet like everybody talked about.
Did you mention what you? And I'm sorry if I had missed it during the interview. Did you say how the height on this thing? What you thought it was?
Yeah, we went back about a year later. Me and my brother and a few other cats. We all come back with guns. They basically had to drag me in the woods. But when we went back, there was this tree that he was walking next to. It was a dogwood tree. I thought he was about 6 foot because I was looking down at him at an angle. So he looked to be about 6 foot, just a mountain of a man, and long arms with big forearms. His forearms were actually bigger than his biceps. It was just weird. And the hair that come off of his biceps was really ghillie suit looking. You know what I mean? Looked like moss, hanging moss. But there was this dogwood tree that he was next to, and every now and then he would duck up and he would duck under it. It was like he wouldn't move his whole body; he would just move his head a little bit, clear it. And when I seen that dogwood tree, that branch is 8 foot, so he was ducking up under it. So he was probably 9 foot.
It's pretty tall. Probably about an 18-inch.
Yeah,
they leave around an 18-inch track. If you ever see a track about 18 inches, and you're dealing with about an 8 to 9 footer. But he was tall.
Man, I cannot wait to find a track. I'm ready to cast one. I want a good one though. I want a real good one that's got the powerful brake and everything.
Do you think
It's
if you
fine, man.
saw, do you think if you saw this same, by the way, in Mississippi, do they call them skunk apes or they just call them, what do they refer to them
Call them
as?
boogers, wood boogers.
Boogers. Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have known that. So if you saw this
Same thing.
booger, if you saw this booger again, would you be a little bit more comfortable?
If I see him,
Yeah.
I hope to God I never see him again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing one again, but I would rather see one like from afar, like something across the field or stuff, you know, where I'm safe. I'm in a vehicle, and it's a long way off. Something like that would be fascinating,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want another encounter face to face like that again. I'm scared of them, man.
Yeah, I understand. Um, you know how you hear some people are almost have a friendly relationship with them, and they build this confidence between the two of them, and then they're getting real close, and they're feeding them, and almost like they're forest friend.
I think that's a bad idea. I think that's a bad idea, and I'm going to give you my reason. The reason is some of these people might have a friendly relationship, and these things get to where they trust them. But what happens when you start feeding them?
They'll trash your place.
You can't feed them anymore. You know, you run out of money, and you barely feed yourself.
Yeah.
What happens? What are they going to do? Rip your house apart? You know what I mean?
Well, they'll bang on the side of your house or trash your place in anger.
Exactly.
Yeah, you almost wonder if it's like you almost wonder if they're looking at it as not worship. That's not the right word. You're honoring them by feeding them, and then when you don't feed them anymore, then you're not honoring them anymore, and so they're angry. I guess that's the
They're
word.
angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got a guy right now that wants to come on my show, and this guy has to be out of his mind. He has them coming around, and he waits till there's no moon. He said they never come when there's a full moon because it casts too much light. But when there's no moon, this guy basically gets him a case of beer with a roller ice chest and goes out in the middle of the woods and feeds these things, gets drunk, and feeds them cornbread. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, it's, again, we have a lot of cases where they do follow you back home, and they'll trash your place, or they want to know why you're not feeding them. So there may be a few cases here and there where nothing bad happens with that, but in most cases, there is some repercussions for stopping the feeding. And you don't know if they're big enough to snatch you, and you'll just disappear. So you have to keep that in mind.
He basically said he sits out there, and he goes about a mile in the woods. He brings beer with him. He brings a zip-on bags, a bunch of full of cornbread, and he said the alpha males and the females will stay away, but he said that the juveniles will take it right out of his hand. So,
I believe it. That would take nerves of steel.
But I can tell you this, I think that's somewhat kind of crazy.
And that would take nerves of steel for me to do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have him on the show. I mean, I think I got him coming up in about 3 weeks.
Well, that'll be really interesting. So I guess we're going to kind of wrap things up here. But everybody, if you'd like to go over to Mike's YouTube channel, it's three separate words, Red Creek Mafia, and subscribe to his channel. He would surely appreciate it. He's always got interesting guests lined up. He had Ron Moorhead recently, which is an interesting interview. And we want to thank you, Mike, for coming on. You're welcome back anytime, buddy. You're my friend. And
thank you for having me, Don. It's been a pleasure meeting you and getting to know you, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. So thanks, everybody, for listening to this interview with Mike Bluler. And I will definitely be seeing you all on the next video. Bye-bye.